today is section 2 of chapter 9. Yesterday we talked about adding and subtracting polynomials. Today we're going to discuss multiplying polynomials. Okay, in order to multiply a polynomial, you multiply the coefficients and you multiply the variables. Once that multiplication process has taken place, then you want to combine like terms. Okay, so when we multiply polynomials, the labels of these terms are going to change. Okay, so when we combined like terms, remember if we had x cubes and x cubes, the label or the x cubed stayed the same and we just added or subtracted the coefficients. When you multiply, the label or the x cubed times x cubed is going to change, and we're going to be using the properties that we learned from chapter 8 of how to do this. Okay? So, we are first going to start with multiplying one monomial to an entire polynomial, and then we'll move on from there. Okay? But the process will always be the same. Here we have 2x cubed times the polynomial x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. Okay? Here we're going to use the distributive property. We need to distribute this 2x cubed to every single piece of that polynomial. Okay, you cannot just multiply it to one or some of them, you have to multiply it times all of them. So now we're going to have 4 different multiplication problems. We're going to have 2x cubed times x cubed. We're going to have 2x cubed times 3x squared. We're going to have 2x cubed times a negative 2x. And then we're going to have 2x cubed times 5. Okay? Each step will be the same. So first, we multiply coefficients. 2 times 1 is 2. Then we have x cubed times x cubed. From your properties, if you're multiplying something with the same base, you keep the base, add the exponents. So you get 2x to the 6th. Okay, same thing here. Multiply the coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6. Multiply the variables. X cubed times x squared. Keep the base, add the exponents. We get 6x to the 5th. Same thing here. Multiply the coefficients. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Multiply the variables. X cubed times x. Remember, x has an exponent of 1. So we keep the base, add the exponents. And then down here, we multiply the coefficients, which is 10. The variables, this one doesn't have one, so that variable, the first one, stays. Okay, so our final answer is going to be 2x to the 6th plus 6x to the 5th minus 4x to the 4th plus 10x cubed. And that is your answer. Okay, so we're using what we did last chapter for things in this chapter. Okay, now here we have something different. Here we have a binomial, which means two terms, a binomial times a binomial. Okay, the process of distributing doesn't change here, except now we have two parts that we have to distribute to two parts. Okay, so we have this x that we have to distribute to both parts, and this negative 4 that we have to distribute to both parts. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple different ways of how to do this. You can pick your favorite and go with it. Okay, so if we just look at it in terms of distributing, we'll do different colors. So here we have x times 2x. Okay, so if we have x times 2x, multiply coefficients, 2 times 1 is 2, x times x is x squared. Then we also have x times 3, which is going to give us 3x. Okay, so we are done distributing our x. Now we've done it. Now we move on to the negative 4. Sign matters. We have negative 4 times 2x. So we have negative 4 times 2x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8x. And then we have negative 4 times 3, which gives us negative 12. Okay, in the last problem we didn't have anything to combine. Here we then combine like terms, which are these guys right here. When we're combining like terms, the term itself stays, or the label stays, so the x stays, and we just combine -8 and 3, which gives us -5. Okay, so our final answer here is going to be 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. And that is our answer. Now, to do it this way, you have to stay very organized. So I'm going to show you two different ways that can help you through the multiplication process and hopefully keep your answers organized. Okay? Ooh. The first is something called the FOIL method. Right? If you hear me say FOIL, it really means we're distributing a binomial to a binomial, but a FOIL is a good acronym to help us remember how to multiply. Okay? So FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. Okay, so with our F, we're going to take our first terms in both parentheses. So we're going to have 3a times 2a. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. A times a is a squared. Okay, that's right there. Then our O is our outer term. So we're going to take the outermost terms of the problem. So that gives us our 3a and our -2. So we're going to have 3a times our -2, which gives us -6a. Okay? I stands for inner, which is right here, the innermost parts. So our 4 times our 2a, which is going to give us 8a. And then we have our L, which is our last, which is our 4 times -2, which gives us -8. Okay, so if you look at it, your FOIL gives you a little smiley face. Yay! Okay? So here we have 6a squared, -6a, 8a, -8. We have two terms that we can combine because they have the same label, which is an a. 8 and a -6 gives us +2. So our answer is 6a squared plus 2a minus 8. Okay? That is the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. We also have this 2x2 table. Now this personally is my favorite because I think it's a lot easier, but I have a lot of students who like to just distribute how we did on the last example. A lot of students like to FOIL, and a lot of students like to use the 2x2 table. So you pick your favorite method and go with it, okay? Because you're going to get the same answer regardless, if you do it correctly. Okay, with the 2x2 table, we're going to take each binomial and write a term respectively up here. So if I have 3a plus 4, that means I'm going to have 3a here and a +4 here. If I have 2a minus 2, that means I'm going to have 2a here and a -2 here. You can't forget your sign. Okay, and now what you're going to do is basically find the area of each square. How do you find area? Base times height. So here with this square, we have a 3. Hey! Okay, we have 3a times 2a. So 3 times 2 is 6. A times a is a squared. In this square, we have 4 times 2a. 4 times 2a is going to give you 8a. Here, we have 3a times -2. 3 times -2 is -6, and our a. And in this one, we have 4 times -2, which is -8. Okay, looking at this chart, we can see that we have two a's right here. So we can go ahead and combine them. 8a and a -6a gives us 2a. So our final answer is going to be 6a squared plus 2a minus 8, which that is the same thing we got here. We just use different methods, okay? So pick your favorite. You can just distribute, FOIL, 2x2 chart, and go with it. Alright, we'll do an example to practice. 4x plus 6 times x minus 3. Okay? If I want to use my 2 by 2 chart, which I love to do, so I will, it's not going to give me enough space. There we go. Okay? I take my first binomial and write its terms at the top, 4x and a positive 6, and an x and a minus 3. This one is 4x times x, which is going to give me 4x squared. This is 6 times x, which is 6x. This is 4x times negative 3, which is negative 12x. And this is 6 times negative 3, which is negative 18. Right here, I have like terms that I can combine. The label stays, and I combine negative 12 and 6, which is negative 6. So my answer is 4x squared minus 6x minus 18. Okay? If you had chosen to FOIL, first you would have gotten 4x and an x, which gives you 4x squared. Outer, 4x times negative 3, which gives you negative 12x. Inner, 6 times x, which gives you 6x. And last, 6 times negative 3, which gives you negative 18. Combine these two, you get negative 6x. So your answer, 4x squared minus 6x minus 18. Which, hey, same thing there. Okay? Either way. And then our last example is we are going to take a binomial and multiply it by a trinomial. Now, you can still use the chart method if you like that one, or you can still use the distribution process, whichever makes most sense to you. I recommend the chart. So what we're going to do is, instead of a 2 by 2 chart, we're going to have a 2 by 3 chart. Okay? So up top, we're going to have our x squared. This will be my negative x, and this will be my 3. Here I'm going to have 2x, and here I will have 7. And here we go. Multiply coefficients, 2 times 1 is 2. X times x squared is x cubed. This one I have negative x times 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. X times x is x squared. This one I have 3 times 2x. 3 times 2 is 6. X times 1 is x. Here, I have x squared times 7, which gives me 7x squared. This one, I have negative x times 7, which is negative 7x. And here, I have 7 times 3, which is 21. Okay, now we're going to sort through and look for like terms. Here I have x squareds that I want to combine. Remember, the label stays, so the x squared stays. And then I combine like terms. 7 and negative 2 is 5. Here I also have x's. The label stays. Negative 7 and 6 is a negative 1. The 2x cubed and the 21 cannot be combined with anything else. So my final answer is going to be 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 1x plus 21. And that is multiplying polynomials.